Hello everyone and welcome to your AD home delivery. I'm Mal, I have Jeanette with me today. We're going to be taking you through an introduction to Pilates, a beginner style course. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be focusing on working our glutes, our core and our upper body. So the exercises are going to go for 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. So it's designed to flow and to go with a nice bit of rhythm. Now if at any point you find the exercise is too hard or you need to have a rest, just simply have a rest but keep the video going so you don't lose your timing. So we are going to start off by stacking our left glute. So I'm going to get you to head down onto the ground, getting in the all fours position, making sure that you're taking all the way through your fingertips, your shoulders are drawn down and back. What you're going to do, you're going to take a big breath in. As you're breathing in, you're going to extend that leg out and away from the body. Breathing in as it's coming back towards the midline. Big breath out and blow that leg away. So off we go. So 45 seconds of our left glute only. So breathing out on the way up, breathing in as that knee is coming towards you. So as you can see, we're not letting our hips rock from side to side. We're not letting our hips drop down. We're keeping that nice, long, strong, straight line. Perfect. Now to make this exercise easier if you need to, you just reduce the range of motion. So you just come up halfway and then straight back down. Now that's only if you need to make it easier. Otherwise, let's keep that flow going. So extending it all the way out and then lifting it towards the roof. 15 seconds to go before we go to our next exercise. So like I said, we work for 45, we rest for 15. Keeping that going, keep that core brought in. We're on for another 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay, just lying on your right hand side for me. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be stacking the left glute. So we're going to go to clam 1. So clam 1 is with our knees up in front of our body. We have ankle on ankle, knee on knee. We are resting our head on our hand. So our right elbow, perfect. Nice and long, strong posture. All you're going to do is just separate top knee from bottom knee. So we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. Off you go for me. So breathing out on the way up, nice and slow and controlled. You're breathing in on the way down, out on the way up. So the easiest way to remember it is exhale for exertion. And that's the movement there. So just separating top knee from bottom knee. Perfect. Now remember with Pilates, it's slow and controlled. It's not a race. It's never a race in Pilates. We want to just make sure we get the perfect technique and get that flow really strong and going. So we're 25 seconds down, which means we've got 20 seconds to go of our clam 1. Perfect. Now remember you've got to keep that long, strong spine, keep that upper body nice and straight. 15 seconds to go. Perfect. We're here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we're going to stack the body. So we're going to become nice and long. What we're going to do, we're going to be picking up our top leg, pointing our big toe at the ground, so we're internally rotating our toe. And what that does is that just switches on in our glutes a little bit more. We're going to go leg all the way down and then lift it straight up to the roof. So that's the movement there. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So we're going straight leg lift. So this is working our glutes, obviously our left glute. It's also getting a little bit of our hamstring, a little bit of our core. Now to make this exercise easier if you do need, just reduce the range of motion for me. But otherwise, let's try and get that ankle all the way up to the roof. Same thing, you can see that Jeanette has stacked her upper body. Her head is still on her hand. She's nice and long and strong. She's breathing out on the way up. Breathing in as that leg is coming down towards the midline of her body. Her big toe is pointed at the ground. We have 15 seconds to go. Perfect. Okay, 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, have a rest. Okay, so our next exercise is clam 2. So we're going to bring those knees back up in front of our body. Our ankles are going to come up in the sky. So that's the difference between clam 1 and clam 2 is now that our ankles are in the air. You're still going to separate top knee from bottom knee. You're going to be breathing out on the way up, and it's a slow and controlled movement. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So breathing out on the way up. So to make this exercise easier, if you need to, just go back to clam 1. So that's one where we had our feet on the ground. Otherwise, we're at clam 2. We're working our left glute. Couple of minutes to go, so your glute should be fired up by now, starting to feel pretty good. That's okay, that's what we want. Keep it moving for me. Breathing out on the way up. Breathing in on the way down. Perfect. Great work, Jeanette. Great work, everyone at home. Keep it going. 15 seconds to go. Perfect, 10 seconds, and in 10 seconds time, we're going to go all the way back out to that full extension in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. all the way back out to full extension for me. Have a little bit of a rest. So our next exercise is going to be our toe taps. So similar to our straight leg lift, you're going to take your top leg up, have your big toe pointed at the ground. From here, you're going to pretend to tap it in front twice, tap it in the middle twice, and then tap it behind you twice. So that's the movement. 3, 2, 1, off we go. And why do I say pretend? I say pretend because we don't actually want your toes to touch the ground. So if your toe touches the ground, you lose the tension through the glute and through the muscles that we're trying to focus on. So making sure you don't let it touch the ground, keeping it going, 2 in front, 2 in the middle, 2 behind. So after this, we've only got 2 exercises left in our glute. So I know you might be a little bit uncomfortable, but that's okay. Keep the focus, keep working. 2, 2, 2. Remember to keep breathing, so keep yourself nice and strong. Not rocking from side to side, not letting your hips take you away. Of course, if you want to make this exercise easier, just 2 taps in front, 2 taps in the middle. Like I said, at any time if you need to rest, have a rest, but just keep the video going so you don't lose your flow. 3, 2, 1, and resting for me. Okay, our second last exercise for our left glute. We're going to take our top leg up once again. We're going to point our big toe at the ground. I'm just going to go 5 circles forwards and then 5 circles backwards. So 5 forwards, 5 backwards. So let's get ready to go, everyone. In 3, 2, 1, time on, off we go. So making sure our big toe is pointing at the ground, 5 circles forwards, 5 circles backwards. Now to make this exercise easier if you need to, just do 5 circles one way, then have a rest. But otherwise, try and get the 5 forwards, 5 backwards. It is 45 seconds that we're working for. We're 20 down, which means we've got 25 to go. Second last glute exercise on this left-hand side. So we're almost there. Keep that long, strong posture. Keep that core switched on. 15 seconds to go. Perfect. Okay. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a big breath out. Perfect. Okay. Rolling over onto your backs for me, please, everyone. We're going to go our double leg glute bridge raise. So this is going to finish off our left glute as well as wake our right glute up before we stack our right glute series. So feet are shoulder width apart on the ground, our hands are down by our side. As you breathe out, you're going to lift your hips up off the ground. As you breathe in, you go back down towards the ground. Now don't let your hips touch the ground and then drive back up. So 3, 2, 1, off we go. So breathing out on the way up, breathing in as you're coming down. So you're using all the way through your heels and your pinky toes, breathing out on the way up, breathing in on the way down. So our core is getting a bit of a workout in this one, which is good. Moving forward, we're just really going to finish on focusing off our left glute and warming up our right glute. So we're 20 seconds down, we've got 25 to go. Of course, to make this exercise easier, if you need to, you can lower your hips all the way to the ground. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can take your feet further away from the body. But let's just focus on staying where we are. 10 seconds to go before we roll over and we're getting ready to stack our right glute in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay, so rolling over and let's get ready to do our right glute. So Jeanette's going to get into position. We've got our extend and lift. So this time our left leg is in the midline of the body. Our right leg is going out and up. So let's get ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Time on everyone. So breathing out as that leg's going away from the body, keeping our core nice and strong, not rocking side to side. Now, your left glute might be a little bit fatigued in this position. Completely understandable, completely okay. Just making sure you're balancing all the way through that upper body. Have your fingers spread nice and wide. Have your core strong. Breathing out as that leg is going away from the body and up. Remember, to make this exercise easier, just reduce the range of motion that we're going. Otherwise, we've got 15 seconds to go before we go to clam 1 on this side. Perfect. Breathing in as it's coming down. Big breath out on the way up. Our right glute is providing all the power for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, down we go, everyone. So we're lying on our left-hand side this time. Our head is resting on our hand. We're at clam 1, so we have our knees in front. Our ankles are on ankles. Our core is strong. Our posture is perfect. In 3, 2, 1. Off we go by separating top knee from bottom knee, please. So like I said, this is an introduction and a little bit of a beginner's workout for Pilates. At any time it feels uncomfortable in the not so good way, just have a rest. Obviously, we want the glutes to get a little bit of fire going through them, a little bit of chili. So let's work the best that you can. If you ever need to have a rest, please feel free to do so, but just keep the video going so you don't lose your flow. If you need to make this exercise easier, the clam one, just reduce the range of motion. 15 seconds left before we get that full extension out. Perfect work, Jeanette. Great work, everyone at home. Keeping it going. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so let's go legs all the way out for me, please. So it's ankle on ankle. We're going to pick our top leg up, internally rotate our toe, and we're just lifting it straight up to the roof and straight back down. So 3, 2, 1, off we go. So same thing, 45 seconds rest, making sure that your big toe is pointed at the ground. You've got your head resting in your hand as that support, and it's all through that glute only. Perfect. Okay, so to make this exercise easier if you need, just reduce your range of movement. So just go a small little lift. If you want to make this exercise harder, what you can do is you can add a little pulse at the top, but we don't need to worry about that just yet. Perfect. Okay. So we're 25 down, which means we've got 20 to go of this one. Good. Jeanette, keep that breathing. Exhale for exertion, as always. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's go to clam 2. So bringing those knees up in front, ankles are up in the air. So same as that left glute progression. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So time is on. If you need to make this exercise easy, drop your knees to the ground if you need to. Otherwise, off we go. So ankles stay in the air. We're separating top knee from bottom knee. We're focusing on our core staying nice and strong. Glute separating glute. Perfect. 20 seconds down, 25 to go. So after this, there's only 3 more glute exercises. Then our glutes are done for this video. A little bit of core and a little bit of upper body to come along, but don't worry about that just yet. Let's focus on our glutes. 15 seconds now. Perfect. Perfect, long, strong posture. The knees are stacking knee on knee. The ankles are in the air for another 3, 2, 1. And let's go all the way out for me, please. So we're back to that full leg extension. We're going to our toe taps now. It's the same as before on the left side. Let's pick our top leg up, point our big toe at the ground, 2 taps in front, 2 taps in the middle, 2 taps behind. But remember, not letting your toe touch the ground. So time has begun. So don't let your toe touch the ground, otherwise we lose the tension. We don't want that. It means we have to start all over again. I don't think anyone wants to start their glutes all over again. No? Perfect. So 2, 2, 2. Remember to keep your breathing control, making sure you stack that upper body and your hips aren't going forwards or backwards. You're in that long, strong, straight line. Perfect. Okay, 2, 2, and 2. Great work. Keep that moving. Great technique. Your hips aren't going forward. You're in that straight line. 10 seconds to go from here before we go to our circles, but we do get that little bit of a rest in between. So we'll make sure we count that for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and resting for me. Okay, so have a little bit of a rest. We've got 2 exercises to go on this glute. Our next exercise is our circles. So we go all the way back out to full extension. We take our top leg up, we point our big toe at the ground. From there, we're going 5 circles forwards and then 5 circles backwards. So in 3, 2, 1, off we go. So big toes pointed at the ground, 5 forwards and then 5 backwards. So remember, you're not letting your hips take over, so you're not rocking all the way forward or rocking all the way back. You're staying in that nice straight line for me. Perfect. Core is switched on. 5 circles forwards, 5 circles backwards. Now to make this exercise easier, if you need a rest, just do 5 circles forwards, then place ankle on ankle and have a rest. If that's still too much, you can just do a little lift. But otherwise, let's keep it going with our 5 circles forwards, our 5 circle backwards. We have 15 seconds left before we roll onto our back for our double leg glute lift, and then our glutes are done for today. 3, 2, 1, perfect. Okay, everyone over onto their back for me, please. Let's get ready to go. So it's our last double glute bridge, our last glute exercise for today. So hands are down by your side, all the way goes through your heels and pinky toes. Remember, you breathe out, your hips come up off the ground, and then they don't return to the ground. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So breathing out on the way up, breathing in on the way down, big breath out on the way up. push all the way through your heels and pinky toes. Keep your core strong. Now your hamstrings are going to get a little bit of a workout here as well, so don't worry about that. Obviously we want them to be working. We're firing everything up. We're feeling good. We're already 20 down, which means there's 25 left of our glutes for today on this double leg glute bridge raise. So keeping it going. All right, 15 seconds to go. So in 15 seconds time, our glutes are done. We're going to get ready to work our core. So keeping it going for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and resting. So staying down where you are for me. Let's get our legs extended all the way out. Have a little bit of a rest. Okay. So we're going to have around 30 seconds just before we start our core movement. So with our core movement, we have about 6 exercises that we're going to work through. So this is all designed around that flow. So we're going to be working the upper part of our core, then the middle part, then the lower part, as well as all the targeting muscles on the outside to our external obliques. So our first movement, same timing, 45 on, 15 off. We're going to have our feet on the ground. Our hands going to be behind our head. Elbows up, so our legs are bent, so our knees are on, yep, perfect. All we do is just simply breathe out, crunch up, eyes come in level with our knees, breathing in, going straight back down. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So shoulder blades just coming off. Now you don't have to come up as high as Jeanette. If you want to just limit the range of motion, you just do a simple little crunch. So breathe out, just to there, straight back down. So remember, going to your own capabilities, working as hard as you want to go. This is an introduction to Pilates, so anytime you need to rest or have a break, feel free to do so. Otherwise, breathing out on the way up, we're making sure our lower back stays nice and firm. We're trying to bring our eyes above knee level. Perfect, everyone. So our hands are behind the head as a guide. So it's not pulling my neck up. It's there to support the neck and keep it flowing. 10 more seconds of this first exercise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and resting. Okay, so now we're going to go both legs straight up in the air for me, please. Your hand's going to come down and truck underneath your bum, underneath your glutes, and we're simply just going to lower one leg down at a time. So one leg goes down, taps the ground, comes back up, now the other leg goes down. So this is our single leg lowers. So time is on, off we go. I'll explain this exercise as we're going. So this is working our hip flexors and our extensors. It's also working the inner part of our core. So this is a really strong exercise for our pelvic floor muscles, so everything that sits underneath our six-pack. So with this exercise, we just want to make sure that our lower back isn't arching off the ground. So if you find that it's too much and your lower back is arching, what you can do is you bend at the knees and you go from that position there. So then one foot would go down, tap the ground, back up, now the other one go down. We are going to keep going with our single leg straights, but if at any time you need to have a rest, obviously have a rest or bend at the knees. So keeping this movement flowing for me, 10 seconds to go. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are resting, both feet on the ground for me. Okay, perfect. Our next movement is our external oblique crunches. So obviously, as the name suggests, we're working our external obliques. So Jeanette's going to put her right ankle up and across onto her left knee. Her left elbow is going to come out nice and wide. And with this one, what you simply do is just breathe out and try and imagine you're going to get your armpit to meet your knee. So it's a slow and controlled movement. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So breathing out on the way up, same thing as before. Your hand is there as a guide. So it's not pulling or straining through the neck, it's there to protect the neck. So breathe out on the way up, breathing in on the way down. 45 seconds for our external obliques. So keep it going for me. Perfect. 25 down, 20 to go. So we're working our external obliques. Our hand is there protecting the neck. Now to make this exercise easier, if you need to, crunch and then rest for 5 seconds at the bottom. But otherwise, just keep the movement going for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and swapping sides for me. So 15 seconds rest. You can see we've swapped ankles, different arms coming out. We're still supporting the neck, we're still bracing through that upper body. We're on in 3, 2, 1, off we go. So we've changed sides, breathing out on the way up for me, please. Okay, perfect. So same thing, our external obliques, breathing out on the way up. Armpit to knee. That hand is there as a guide and controlling. If at any point you need to have a rest, Have a rest, keep the video flowing so you don't lose where you're up to. Keep it going. So we are 20 seconds to go from here. Breathing out on the way up, perfect technique. Keep that core nice and strong. This is our second last core exercise. In 3, in 2, in 1, we are resting. Have 15 seconds rest. Jeanette's going to get herself ready. We're going to our hundreds. So we'll take you through the setup before we start the exercise. So, the setup for this one, you start with your legs at the tabletop position. Your hands are up, facing each other. When you breathe out, so as you breathe out, your arms come down past your body and your legs go up in the air. From here, you then do 10 pulses on top, and then you turn your hands the other way and you go 10 underneath. Then you take a big breath in, your hands come back up and your legs come to tabletop and your head goes back to the ground. So we're all going to try this hundreds at home. If this is too difficult or if you feel like you don't like the movement, have your legs on the ground and then just simply breathe out, come up, pulse 10 on top and 10 underneath. So with our feet on the ground it makes it a bit easier. Let's try it at tabletop. So everyone legs up, bent at the knees for me in that tabletop position. Hands are up facing each other. As you breathe out, extend your legs to the roof, start your arm pumping. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. So your eyes should be looking at your knees. You've got 10 pumps on top, 10 pumps underneath. Then you breathe in, you go back down towards the ground, breathe back out, come back up. So like I said, if at any point you find this exercise is too strenuous or too much, you can have your feet on the ground. It's the same movement, you breathe out, you go 10 up, 10 down, you just have your feet resting. This is our second last exercise for our core. Perfect. So eyes are on knees, big breath out on the way up, 10 on top and 10 underneath. We have 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a big breath out. Rolling over onto your stomach for me, please, everyone at home. So we're going to go with a prone hold or a bridge or a plank or a hover, whatever you want to call them. Now today we're just going to be on our knees. So sometimes in classes you'll get told to come up onto your toes. That's completely okay, but just for today we're going to focus on our knees. So as you can see, Jeanette set up, she's got her elbows directly underneath her shoulders, her hands are flat on the ground. On the count of 3, she's going to breathe out and come up on her knees but form a nice, long, strong line. So on 1, 2, 3, big breath out. So this is the movement that you want to have, everyone. So you can see we've got a nice long line from our shoulders into our lower back, into our glutes. Feet together at the back for me, Jeanette, just to make it a little bit harder while you're down here. Now the key with this one, everyone, is you want to focus on drawing your belly button deep into your spine. So making sure you're upright and then go forward a little bit for me. There you go. Perfect. So you can see we're forming that nice long line. Her hips aren't rocking side to side. She's not tilting or dipping one way either. It's that perfect long, strong line. We have 15 seconds left, so keep focusing on drawing the belly button deep into your spine, not losing any control. We're here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a big breath out. Go down to the child's pose for me, please, Jeanette, just to stretch out that core and that upper body. Okay, everyone, we are almost there. So our left glute warmed us up. Our right glute brought us home. Our core is now done. We're feeling good. We're just going to finish off with a little upper body. So we've got 4 upper body exercises. The first one is going to be our Pilates push-ups. So Pilates push-up is different to a normal push-up because at the end of the movement, you take your hands off the ground. So you're kind of releasing the tension. So the easiest way to describe this one is by showing you. So we're going to be going into some scat push-ups, please, Jeanette. So what I mean by this is, we draw our shoulder blades down and back. Our core is switched on. Jeanette lowers herself all the way to the ground. She then takes her hands off at the bottom of the movement. And then comes back up. So this time she's going to take her hands off at the bottom of the movement, so our scat release push-ups. So go all the way down for me, please, Jeanette. Hands come off. Perfect, and there we go. Okay, so now we've got it. Let's play along at home. So follow us at home. So in 3, 2, 1, off we go. So lowering yourself down, hands come off, hands go back on, breathing out on the way up. So this is going to work on switching on our pecs. It takes the tension through our shoulders. It switches on our triceps, so the movement, the muscles that are on either side of the back of our arms, has our core fired up as well. So just keep focusing. It's 45 seconds, hands off, breathing out on the way up. Perfect, Jeanette. So scat release. Perfect, big drive out. Well done, everyone at home. Keep this movement going. Of course, to make this exercise harder, if you need to, you'd be up on your toes. To make this exercise easier, just have a couple of seconds rest at the bottom. So it is that introduction style Pilates. We're going to work to the best of our abilities. We're here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay, resting. Sitting up for me, please. So I'll get everyone to sit up and to face their camera or to face their television or whatever device it is that you're watching this on. Our third last exercise for our upper body, we're going to be doing some shoulder work. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to have our arms out, fingers spread, palms facing the ground. From here, we're going to bring our elbows up to our ears, then back down just in line with our shoulders. So no lower than our shoulders, back up to our ears and back down. So 45 seconds like this in 3, in 2, in 1. Off we go. So elbows to ears, then back down. So this movement can be made easier by reducing the range of movement and can be made harder by picking up your speed a little bit. So if you're finding this too easy, then increase your speed a little bit. So you're making sure those hands don't go below shoulder height, elbows to ears. Perfect. We're 20 seconds down, which means we've got 25 to go. This is our third last upper body exercise for today. Great work. Okay, so elbows to ears, hands don't go below shoulder height. Keep the tension, keep focusing. Perfect. Sitting up nice and straight like Jeanette is, so she's drawn the belly button deep into her spine. We're here for another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a big breath out, laying back down on your stomachs for me. But before you do, I'll just explain our next exercise. So this next exercise is called flight. So Jeanette can lay down, she'll get in position. So what you want to be doing is squeezing your thumb and forefinger. So just like that. From here, as you can see, Jeanette's laying on the ground. You then turn your pinkies up to the sky, then back down to the ground. So you're internally and externally rotating through your forearms and elbow joints. So to make this exercise easier, keep your head on the ground. To make this exercise harder, come up a little bit higher. So let's go in 3, 2, 1, time on. So 45 seconds. So Jeanette's brought her upper body up off the ground. She's got all the tension through her her thumb and forefinger, just internally and externally squeezing. So 45 seconds. This is our second last upper body exercise. Good, big squeeze. Perfect. Okay, 20 seconds to go. Keep the tension all the way through. Pinkies to the roof, pinkies away, pinkies to the roof, pinkies away. We're almost there. We have 15 seconds to go, team. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay, sitting up for me, please. We have our last upper body and our last exercise of this series. So we're going back, we're returning to our arm flaps, but this time what we're going to be doing is our palms down. So palms down, going from thighs up to shoulder height and back down. So before we were up here, now we're down here. So fingers spread, 3, 2, 1, off we go. So up to your shoulder height, then back down. Remember to make this exercise easier, just reduce the range of motion. To make it harder, increase your speed. We're here for 45 seconds and then we are done for today. Okay, 15 seconds are down, 30 seconds left of your introduction / beginner to Pilates class. Perfect technique, up nice and straight, shoulders are down and back, belly button is brought into spine. 15 seconds to go. Last 10 seconds. We are here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and resting. Perfect. Well done, Jeanette. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in home. As always, if you like what we did here, please hit the subscribe button. In the menu, you'll see that we have a few different options of different exercises you can do along at home. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you all soon.